Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. General Hospital spoilers. Will Lucky bring home a new woman, returns engaged or married? General Hospital, spoilers reveal that Lucky Spencer, Jonathan Jackson, is returning to the show later this summer, so fans are certainly excited to see him again, after all these years. Of course, we have to consider whether Lucky will come back alone or perhaps with someone he met off-screen. Will Lucky bring home a new woman when the time comes? Could Lucky be engaged or even married by now? Gigi writers are keeping a tight lid on the details of Lucky's comeback, so the door's still wide open for speculation. It's possible Lucky's engagement or marriage announcement could be part of why he returns. That'd be an easy way to introduce a new female character and shake up the canvas even more. Lucky must have gotten lonely in his travels, so maybe he met someone special who'll ultimately become a Port Charles resident when they move home together. If that's the case, Lucky's fiancée or wife could find herself facing plenty of questions about their romance. Laura Collins, Jeannie Francis, would surely try to give the new lady in Lucky's life a warm welcome, but would she approve? There's also the potential for Elizabeth Baldwin, Rebecca Hurst, to dislike Lucky's new main squeeze. And Aiden Weber, Tristan Riggs, may not like his stepmom or stepmom to be either. If the show wanted to offer a truly messy twist, then Lucky could have a love interest who's connected to someone else on canvas. It could be revealed that Lucky's new woman secretly cheated on him with Jason Morgan while he was undercover as Alan Jacobs. Regardless, it'll be interesting if Lucky has a fiancée, wife, or at least a girlfriend on his arm when he returns. Perhaps Lucky has fallen head over heels for someone who'll join the action and could possibly have a hidden agenda. Our predictions hint that Lucky will have plenty to share about his time away, so we'll bring you updates on the news he'll deliver following his homecoming. General Hospital spoilers say Lucky could face an interesting adjustment period as he tries to get used to life in Port Charles again, so stay tuned. Lucky Spencer's name echoed through the corridors of Port Charles, stirring memories and emotions among its residents. A longtime fan favorite, his return to town had always been a subject of speculation and excitement. This time, though, whispers suggested he might not be returning alone. Elizabeth Weber stood in her living room, the soft morning light casting a warm glow across her face. Her mind raced as she recalled the phone call she had received the previous evening. "Liz, it's me, Lucky," the voice had said, filled with a mixture of joy and uncertainty. "I'm coming back to Port Charles. I need to talk to you." Her heart had skipped a beat. Lucky, the love of her life, her once husband, and the father of her children, was coming back. But why now? What could he possibly want to discuss after all this time? As she sipped her coffee, her thoughts were interrupted by the arrival of her son, Cameron. "Mom, you look lost in thought," he observed, a hint of concern in his voice. She smiled, shaking her head. "Just thinking about some old memories, Cam. How about we get ready for the day?" As they prepared breakfast, Elizabeth couldn't shake the feeling of anticipation. She knew that Lucky's return would bring changes, but she had no idea just how significant those changes would be. Meanwhile, at the Metro Court, Nicholas Cassadine was having a tense conversation with his sister, Lulu Spencer. "Lucky's coming back?" "That's news to me," Nicholas said, his brows furrowing. Lulu nodded, her expression mirroring her brother's concern. "Yeah, he called last night. Said he has something important to tell us. I have a feeling it's going to be big." Nicholas sighed, running a hand through his hair. "With Lucky, it's always something big. We just have to be prepared for whatever he brings with him." The Spencer siblings weren't the only ones bracing themselves for Lucky's return. At Kelly's diner, Bobby Spencer and her brother, Luke, were deep in conversation. Luke, having heard the news from his old friend, looked both hopeful and wary. "Do you think he's finally found some peace?" Bobby asked, her eyes filled with a mother's concern. Luke shrugged, a wry smile on his lips. "With Lucky, peace is a fleeting thing. But maybe, just maybe, he's found something worth holding on to this time." As the day progressed, the anticipation in Port Charles grew. By afternoon, the bus had reached General Hospital, where Epiphany Johnson and Hamilton Finn discussed the potential implications of Lucky's return. "He's always been a wild card," Epiphany said, her no-nonsense demeanor softened by genuine concern. "I just hope he's okay." Finn nodded, his mind drifting to his own complicated relationships. "We all hope for the best, Epiphany. But knowing Lucky, he's bound to bring some surprises." And surprises he did bring. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting an orange hue over the town, Lucky Spencer arrived at the docks. Stepping off the boat, he was accompanied by a striking woman with dark hair and a confident stride. Her presence was immediately commanding, and those who saw them couldn't help but wonder about her identity. Lucky made his way to the Metro Court, where Lulu and Nicholas were waiting anxiously. When they saw him, their faces lit up with joy and relief. But their expressions shifted to curiosity and surprise as they noticed the woman by his side. "Lucky, who's this?" Lulu asked, her eyes darting between her brother and the mystery woman. Lucky took a deep breath, his arm wrapping around the woman's waist. "This is Seven," he said, a tender smile on his lips. "And we have some news. We're engaged." A stunned silence followed his announcement. Lulu's eyes widened in shock, and Nicholas's jaw dropped. The surprise was palpable, but so was the curiosity. "Engaged," Nicholas finally managed to say. "Lucky, that's wow." Sylvan stepped forward, her eyes meeting Lulu's. "It's a pleasure to meet you," she said, her Irish accent adding a musical lilt to her words. "Lucky's told me so much about you all." Lulu, regaining her composure, smiled warmly. "It's nice to meet you too, Sylvan. Congratulations to both of you." As the news spread through Port Charles, reactions varied. Elizabeth felt a mix of emotions, happiness for Lucky, but also a pang of what if. She couldn't help but wonder about the life they might have had if things had been different. At the same time, Laura Spencer, Lucky's mother, received the news with a mixture of joy and apprehension. She had always wanted her son to find happiness, but the suddenness of the engagement left her with questions. As days turned into weeks, Sylvan began to integrate into the community, winning over many with her charm and kindness. But there were those who remained skeptical, wary of the whirlwind romance and its implications. Lucky and Sylvan's engagement brought a fresh wave of drama to Port Charles. Old wounds were reopened.